So we just heard in an earlier story in this fortnight show how left-wing academics make fun of the term Judeo-Christian values, as if there's no such thing. Apparently the term was just made up by right-wingers to alienate anyone who isn't Christian or Jewish. Well, the Jewish conservative commentator Dennis Prager, the American talk radio host and founder of the online information channel PragerU, put out a really good video about a year ago to clear up this myth that Judeo-Christian values aren't really a thing.
Judeo-Christian values are the moral foundation of Western civilization. As the great British Prime Minister Margaret Thatcher put it, the truths of the Judeo-Christian tradition are infinitely precious, not only because they are true, but also because they provide the moral impulse which alone can lead to that peace for which we all long. Mrs. Thatcher was a believing Christian. I am a believing Jew. While we have different theologies, we have the same core values. And as far as society is concerned, moral values are far more important than theologies.
Dennis Prager then goes on to outline 10 of these shared values. Number one is that Jews and Christians believe in one God, the God of the Old Testament of the Bible. But whatever your concept of God is, it's the moral ideas that leads to that really matter.
Number two, the Hebrew Bible introduced the most revolutionary moral idea in history, that there are objective moral truths, just as there are objective mathematical and scientific truths. Without God, there is no moral truth, only moral opinions. Number three, because there are moral truths, good and evil are the same for all people. Number four, God, not man, not government, not popular opinion, not a democratic vote, is the source of our rights. The American Declaration of Independence declares that all men are endowed by their Creator with certain unalienable rights.
In terms of ideas that have become unpopular in our modern culture, the idea that man isn't essentially good is one of them. Pop psychology and New Age ideas insist that emotions like shame and guilt and generally feeling bad about yourself sometimes are all things to be shunned. Modern academia laughs at the idea of a conscience and even the concept of good character. Manners and polite social behaviour, modesty, all of those sorts of things put down as just airs and graces of some elite class. Well, the Judeo-Christian ethic is built on the idea that the world isn't heaven, precisely because man has fallen and has to redeem himself. Improvement, humility, and work is needed. And that is what we're here for.
Number seven, man is not basically good. Christians speak of original sin in referring to man's nature. Jews cite what God said in Genesis, the will of man's heart is evil from his youth. Both beliefs are diametrically opposed to the naive modern belief that man is basically good. And they lead to the same conclusion. We need God-based rules to keep us from our natural inclinations. Number eight, therefore, our natural inclinations are a very poor moral guide. As religious Jews and Christians put it, don't follow your heart. A lot of terrible things have been done and are being done now by people thinking their hearts are better guides than Judeo-Christian values.
And finally, there's the basic list of rules of life that underpin Judeo-Christian values, the 10 Commandments.
They are the core of Judeo-Christian values. In fact, if everyone lived just by the 10 Commandments, we wouldn't need armies or even police. There's another important aspect to the term Judeo-Christian. The two religions need each other. Without the Old Testament, there is no New Testament. Virtually every Christian moral principle derives from the Hebrew Bible. Not only the 10 Judeo-Christian values I just enumerated, but such basic moral principles as love your neighbor as yourself, love the Lord your God, and love the stranger. At the same time, Jews need Christians. It was overwhelmingly Christians who carried knowledge of the Hebrew Bible to the world.
Now, the point is, it doesn't matter whether or not you believe in Judeo-Christian values or not. The point is that they are a thing. The link between Jewish and Christian thought and philosophy is not a right-wing construct to promote conservative values, Nor is it something just made up recently to win US support for Israel. It's actually real.
The ultimate embodiment of Judeo-Christian values has been the United States of America. America's founders were Christians, some culturally, some theologically, who were rooted in the Old Testament. So much so that Thomas Jefferson and Benjamin Franklin designed a seal for the United States that depicted God leading Israel out of Egypt, just as they believed God was leading America out of Europe. Only if we keep these values will we keep America, and for that matter, Western civilization.
That's Dennis Prager helping us understand Judeo-Christian values. You may have noticed if you've been overseas on holiday recently that you can log into your streaming services like Netflix or Prime in other countries, but the shows they offer are different and sometimes even better. You're paying good money for those subscription services. Why can't you watch? Well, with a virtual private network or VPN, you can log in from home here in Australia with an internet address from anywhere in the world. And big corporations and big government can't see where you are. Now, to be clear, criminals can still be actively found with police warrants, of course, but the average honest citizen will have their location protected from prying eyes of corporate marketers and government bureaucrats. If you sign up now with private internet access, we think they are the best VPN service out there. That's private internet access. As a viewer of The Other Side, you can get 83% off the price of your subscription and get online for less than $3 a month. Check it out right now. Go to piavpn.com/otherside. That's piavpn.com/otherside. It's a great service at a rock bottom price, and you're helping keep The Other Side going and growing. That was a segment from a recent episode of our fortnightly news commentary show, The Other Side, with me, Damien Curry. If you liked it, support us. Subscribe to our channel on YouTube right now so you don't miss a thing. It's totally free. Just click that subscribe button and the little bell. And check out our Other Side Unplugged show too, and join our mission to actually do something and change Aussie media for the better at othersidetv.com.au. That's othersidetv.com.au. Check it out now.